You open your trading app and watch a stock violently gap down 20% in seconds. You log out, walk to the bathroom, and stare at a counter covered in pill bottles, one for joint pain, one for eczema, and another for brain fog. We treat these events as isolated crises. We assume the market is reacting to bad news, and our bodies are breaking down from distinct, unrelated diseases. We play a reactive game of whack-a-mole, treating surface-level symptoms with market orders and topical creams. The problem is human biology. Our brains are hardwired to look for massive, visible threats on a macro scale. Because of that blind spot, we miss the actual cause of the chaos. These crises trace back to a single microscopic structural failure that expresses itself in different ways. To see how systemic wealth is lost and cellular health is destroyed, we have to throw out the human scale. We need to look at what happens in the invisible microworld. Look at the financial markets. The human brain takes 200 milliseconds to process a visual cue. In that same window, institutional trading servers execute thousands of complex trades. To win this game, massive funds pay hundreds of millions of dollars for co-location, renting server racks directly inside the exchange building so their data travels shorter physical distances through fiber optic cables. The constraint here is the speed of light. When a major headline drops, natural language processing AIs read the text and trigger massive demand shockwaves in under 5 milliseconds. This happens before the signal even leaves the exchange to hit your phone. When market makers detect income and selling pressure, they instantly cancel all buy orders. The floor vanishes, collapsing into a liquidity vacuum. You hit buy on your app, but due to data delay, your order locks in at the highest peak of that microsecond spike. Immediately, millions of buy orders flood back, resetting the floor. You are left holding a finalized loss at the top. This is slippage. Those sudden losses have nothing to do with broad market sentiment or the actual value of a company. Retail wealth is harvested because a microscopic structural vulnerability was exploited by a faster system. High-frequency systems fail when the microscopic barrier of time is breached. Biology fails when the microscopic barrier of the gut is breached. Our internal security relies on a single hollow tube, the ultimate physical barrier between sterile blood and the outside world. This vital biological border control is exactly 1 cell thick. These cells are linked shoulder to shoulder by chemical bonds known as tight junctions. When you consume ultra-processed emulsifiers, your body releases zonulin. This protein triggers a chemical sequence that dissolves those tight junctions. Microscopic holes open in your gut lining, and toxic, undigested particles fall straight through the barrier. Your immune system spots these foreign invaders floating in your sterile blood and goes into a 5-alarm panic. It launches a massive, systemic inflammatory attack to destroy the toxic waste. Ayurvedic science documented this 5,000 years ago with the concept of Kautaganya, meaning a defective space. The toxic inflammatory sludge travels through your bloodstream until it finds your specific genetic weak point. If it parks in your cartilage, it is diagnosed as rheumatoid arthritis. If it settles in your skin, it manifests as eczema. If it hits your brain, you experience chronic anxiety and brain fog. Autoimmune disease functions as a systemic, cascading panic. Like a financial flash crash, the outcome is the result of an invisible structural breach. Once you see the micromechanics, your perspective changes. Treating chronic symptoms at the surface level, whether that is day trading market noise or rubbing steroid creams on your skin, is an unwinnable war against an exhausted system. To defeat a micro-level system, you have to expand your time horizon. In finance, that means stepping away from the 30-second charts. You stop trying to out-trade multi-billion-dollar algorithms and instead anchor your portfolio in profitable businesses with structural advantages that grow over 5 to 10 years. We apply that exact structural logic to the human body to heal the breach. Rule 1 of the Border Control Protocol is the elimination of biological solvents. You cut out the ultra-processed emulsifiers and seed oils that trigger zonulin and tear your cellular walls apart. Rule 2 is implementing a 14 to 16-hour fasting window. Digestion requires massive amounts of energy. By completely emptying the digestive tract overnight, a sweeping mechanism activates, allowing your body to shift its energy into repair protocols. Rule 3 is supplying the physical building blocks. You need specific molecular mortar to stitch the single-cell wall back together. Consuming easily digestible, mineral-rich broths provides amino acids like L-glutamine, which is the fuel source your intestinal cells use to rebuild those tight junctions. Stop letting modern systems chop your life up into disconnected symptoms. Whether it is your wealth or your health, your reality is driven by one continuous engine. Fix the foundational structure, let the microsecond noise fade away, and capture true stability.